Yeah. And with
Harvest
that
Moon
being
has
said,
been that polished over the time.
It's not the real Harvest Moon.
you mean Story of Seasons? Yeah, Story of Seasons. It's the one that's on PC. Because I have Story of Seasons on a lot of stuff. So
In case anybody's wondering, salutations out of one conversation into another.
yeah. So without much ado, we're into it. We're getting it started. So for those of you who are new, those of you who are just
New.
what's going on. This is normally we just jump into the review, but we started this a little bit early. So for those of you who come in, we're going to be talking about obviously the incredibly how EA just keeps on opening their mouth and sticking their entire foot. Yeah, they're sticking their entire foot into their mouth with their bullshit repeatedly over and over and over again.
And now they ticked off Wall Street for closing down microtransactions temporarily.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing people don't understand. Like these gamers are like, we won. No, temporarily. Although
Not
really,
yet.
Yeah, I don't see how they can reactivate microtransactions as they are now. Because basically every time they open their mouths, this is why I say this podcast is a broken record. Because every time they open their mouth to say something to defend their bullshit, literally,
Stepping in it.
the next day something comes out where reality comes and says that's bullshit, which is perfect because this is BS Busters. This is what we do here. We see people in the industry say things, and then we're like, well, actually, that's bullshit, and we have proof of it. For example, recently, one of the guys said, well, we can't really. The reason we couldn't use cosmetic-based loot boxes instead of loot boxes that are locked behind game progression for single player and multiplayer. Well, the reason why is because it's not canonical. It messes with the canon.
Really?
Yeah, canon is serious business. That's why I tend to criticize Mario sports games for messing up with continuity and canon.
Well, I mean, here's my point, right? Yeah, because they're so interested in being faithful to canon, which is why you can play in one of the multiplayer matches Darth Vader, Lord Dooku, Emperor Palpatine, Luke Skywalker, Mace Windu, Boba Fett. Like all these people fighting on planet Jakku at the same time. Even though in the canon, none of these people, most of these people have never crossed paths. But hey, EA is strong about that canon. I mean, and well, first of all, they tried to throw they tried to throw LucasArts under the bus. Well, the reason, this is all about canon. I'm like, look, this is an arcade style multiplayer single player game. No one cares about canon. Okay, no one who played Lego Star Wars, I don't think, because I'm one of them. When I made my Darth Dopey, which was which had the head of Jar Jar Binks, the cape of Darth Vader, a purple lightsaber, and the lower legs of Mace Windu, and the body of Luke Skywalker. I mean, that was totally against canon. I didn't care. LucasArts didn't bust in my house. How dare you? Your thoughts, panel.
Well, I already mentioned that canon is serious business. That they don't, and I remember that back in E3 that they mentioned they wanted to keep the continuity, wanted to keep canon in check when mentioning when they'll ever have Darth Maul, Han Solo, and Rey fighting at the same place in Naboo, in the demo, and they responded they care about canon, but then doesn't. But of course, once the game came out, they haven't fixed that problem.
let's just keep it real. Like here's the thing. EA doesn't give a shit about canon, okay? Here's the thing, okay? If EA was really gave a fuck about, actually no, I'm not gonna curse for the rest of this cast. If EA actually cared about the canon and the history of Star Wars, they would have released. Oh, we're joined by Liger of Duo. How's it going, Liger?
I hope I'm coming in good.
Yes, you are loud and clear. Yes, you are loud and clear. Well, we were just talking about if EA really cared about canon, they would be making. Well, they would be. Well, I mean, they like if they really cared about the Star Wars license, they would make a KOTOR 3 because that's what people really want to see. A KOTOR 3. It could be utter garbage, and people would still be like, "Oh man, they're making a KOTOR 3." But that's a single player experience. I mean, it's really hard to microtransaction that. I mean,
well, don't get up beyond EA. They could do it.
Yeah, they microtransaction Dragon Age, Inquisition, and Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, not Andromeda, because Andromeda bombed. But
yeah, but I'm just saying, when you think that they can't dig themselves, when they can't dig a well, they find a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
that UFC thing is when I see the breakdown, I was like, really, EA? God,
yeah, they're pretty foul. They are pretty foul. These are the people who found a way to get microtransactions in a Need for Speed game, which really, that game should not have microtransactions. The only type of post-game content that should be in a Need for Speed game, like in modern age, should be expansions. Like kind of like how they did Burnout back in the day for the PS3, where it was like they added entire new sections of game and like races and challenges and stuff like that. But I mean, aside from that, there really shouldn't be DLC for a racing game unless you're adding, huge amounts of content.
That's true, but I mean, like I said, I worked this is me blowing smoke on my own butt. I mean, I worked in the last two, in my opinion, Need for Speed that was good, which was Most Wanted, the original one, and Carbon.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, like I said, for me, looking at Need for Speed Payback now and seeing, because again, I went to other channels just to get a smithereen. I wasn't going to buy it because I know the whole card system was in there for that loot thing, the card system for the progression, which is stupid. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, all right. And I looked at it and I was seeing guys just like saying, oh, well, the cop chases are more dynamic and more like it's basically a time trial. It's a time trial. You just get from here to here by that time, and the cop automatically disappears. I'm like, that's dynamic. I mean, in Most Wanted, you had to hit a donut shop for the donut to fall down on the cop car. You had to do stuff. You literally had to do stuff to get the cops off your butt, and you're telling me that's less than what?
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think of Wall Street being mad at EA for temporarily removing microtransactions for Battlefront 2?
I'm not surprised. Hey, money's money.
They're mad they're not getting their dividends.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, $3 billion lost in stock for a company EA that makes money off of transactions only. That's not a big bust for them. No. They're gonna keep on chugging. The problem is, and Red Fox brought me up on this, is as he's put in this video, Dr. Phil has put in this video, I put in this video. Y'all cannot let the reins off of EA. You gotta just keep on attacking. You can't stop.
Yeah, don't buy their games. Don't buy them. Period. Don't buy their game.
But you said in your video, Red, if you buy them, you can buy them used 3 months from now. You could, if you want to play the game that bad.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Wait some time and see the price drop.
Yeah, because you can. I mean, like I'll keep it real. When I got Mass Effect Andromeda, I paid like $30 for it because I had like a Steam, I had money on my Steam account. So I was like, I'm not gonna pay full price for this, and whatever. But I was mad that like 3-4 months later it went down to 20, and now it's like, and then 10. I'm like, man, shit! If I'd have just waited.
Yeah. But like I said, if you can wait, I mean, like I said, I understand people want to get it. Don't get me wrong. That is true. But for real though, it's like it's going to be you could wait for the thing, but EA is as Red Fox said, EA is following that they will do this. And like I said, I'll be honest, like I said, I listen to other people once in a while that I don't agree with just to get the the gist of it. And again, I give Jim Sterling because in that video, Jim Sterling's video about that with the UFC, he cracked 2 jokes that I was laughing about literally because I liked it while he was like, EA is basically trying to have the cane or fuck it. I was like, yeah, that was something new I never heard. And the other part was when he told EA, when he was like, when he explained out that simplest moves are loot box kind of setup. So a simple jab could be a 5-star or 2-star. So your jab, and again, this is UFC. This is not WCW or WWF, whatever, back in the day, where you get a power move, whatever. Every little hit does do damage because it's basically about a brawl. Nobody really has a finishing move in UFC really like that. So to do that, and he was talking about, and he was like explaining with Capcom, saying Capcom is like getting Chun-Li, and she does her regular spinning bird kick, and you get a 5-star spinning bird kick and a 2, and it's like Capcom. I was just spitballing. Don't take this for real. This is a joke. This is not for real. Please don't do it, Capcom.
That was a thought experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, EA has made a lot of money screwing people over by locking things that should be part of the game in loot boxes and then randomizing the chances of you getting stuff in the loot boxes. So, yep. I mean, this is gambling. This is the very definition of gambling. And people are like, no, it's not gambling. It's like, no, I think I know what gambling is. I'm reasonably certain I know what gambling is, and this is the very definition of gambling because there's no sure. It's not like as you unlock things, the scarcity means that the chances of you getting what you don't have goes up.
I mean, I'll say this. I can see from both sides. It is gambling, and if you use other criteria of it, you could say it's not gambling. I can see both sides in that one. I say that, and like I said, I am 100% telling you this, but I hope I am wrong, and I hope you're right that when we introduce the whole government into this, that I'm wrong and they really do it the right way when you come in on my video. I hope so. I'm honestly meaning that. But I think I think the problem is basically every time as Nintendo fans, we always talk about how Nintendo's a company and they oh well, Nintendo, I could handle this because let me choose, other than my kids and all that stuff. Okay, that's a private company doing that. But now you're telling me we can't get parents to say, hey, because I want to know if you buy a $60 game, how the heck how your kids pay more for transaction unless you gave them your credit card?
Well, because some people, a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people, the way they treat their console is the same way, like, kind of like if you don't have kids, you treat your console. Kind of like I don't lock my Switch, my PS3, my Wii U, because I'm the only one who uses it. And even if I wasn't the only one who uses it, I'm pretty sure like some random person isn't just gonna go and just,
figure the money.
Just start buying stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You still have to. Here's the thing, but you still have to save your card to the Switch.
Yeah, and the Switch, and I give Nintendo this much credit. Typically, if you don't use your credit card for a microtransaction for a while, you have to re-enter it. So I mean that's kind of like their hey, someone can't just go doing something, which is kind of like a good thing. But the way a lot of these, the 7th and 8th gen consoles work, basically, once you put in your credit card information, it saves that stuff. So you just one button press and you buy your stuff. It's really, I mean, look, okay. If you are the only one who's using that system, it's great. But some people, they don't think that deep into it, and their kids, they have little kids who will just kind of like how that dude in the UK's kids spent like $15,000 or I think it was either $1,500 or $15,000 on Star Card. Speaking of EA on FIFA, on Star Card. And eventually someone refunded him his money, but I was like, there shouldn't be microtransactions in a sports game.
It shouldn't, but what can we say right now? I mean, that's one of the reasons I think this UFC thing is going to go on in this day because they're so used to it.
I haven't paid attention to what they're doing with FIFA. What kind of microtransactions is involved?
Well, they have these things called star cards where basically what happens is that like you can upgrade various characters on your team by finding these like kind of like trading cards, but they're digital trading cards, but they raise the stats of the characters that they're the trading card of.
That is not balanced.
Permanent.
No, they're permanent, but they're not balanced. It's just like the same thing with the whole jab. You got a 5-star. It's like again, like
there's different ratings.
I got a 5-star Mars, and you got a 4-star. You got a 2-star Mars. It's not gonna be evenly balanced against competition. A single story kind of thing, it'll be still messed up, but okay. But sports game is a competition thing. That's not. No.
I mean, it's kind of like how anyone who played the Pokemon trading card game, they had different rankings of Pokemon. So if you had like a basic Charizard card versus one of those special ones that have like all the little bells and whistles to it, your bells and whistles Charizard would be just on basic stats alone better than my basic one. And that's basically what EA has been doing. They've been but they've been doing this. But I think it's sad that it took Mickey Mouse. But you know what happens? Like, here's the thing. This is hurting the Star Wars brand, and unlike EA, who thinks that they spent all this money on the brand so they can do whatever the hell they want to with it. Disney's like, we can make so much more money with this if people love the brand than if you're messing it up. So
one YouTuber argues that Star Wars is already a dead franchise because of the lack of sales from the toys.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that much. I would say that them not selling toys is an issue, but the thing is like, I mean, to keep it real, I mean, the audience for toys, like, when we were young, all the cartoons that came out were vehicles to sell toys.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is I'll add up. Red is right, and also we had a different. I mean, it's just okay. Let's put it away. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys could. I would think Red, you got a memory for this because I have not watched Cartoon Network in a long time. But even back when we had the, I know it's been crappy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I don't know the last. Because you remember the Cartoon Network had the whole the CGI Star Wars thing, which was before whatever, and then of course before that, which I have the DVD set of that, the animation thing, which was pretty cool.
They still got
the short animation.
They still got good shows. It's just that it's being suffocated by Teen Titans.
Well, all I know is like what Red was saying is back then you had the toys and it was selling them one for one, and after a while it's not going that great. So right now they're trying to do with that. Disney bought them, and now they're milking the hell out of this thing. And like I said, I'm not the number ones. I would never say I'm a aficionado of Star Wars, but to see them come basically right now, and again, I like Rogue One. That was pretty good, but them going main story. Something else, main story, another thing. They're milking this thing.
Yeah.
They don't want no part. They don't want no part of that train being messed up. Just like they do in Marvel World. They don't want no part of that train messed up. Anything to get maximal potential. And
they don't
making it out.
Yeah, they don't want people messing up their money. And I can't get angry at them for not wanting EA to mess up their money. Because here's what people need to understand. When you have an IP like Star Wars or Marvel's multiple IP, stuff like that, having customer goodwill is almost more important than them just spending their money on inferior products. Because here's the thing. You can sell someone anything if they think highly of your product.
Not to mention, the entire mainstream takes Star Wars very seriously compared to other game franchises that EA is using microtransactions on.
Yeah, they aren't playing. They aren't, here's the thing. Like, I don't think EA should have gone with the whole, we're gonna make this exclusive just to you, because it would have forced competition, and that would
Disney, not EA.
For EA, because like, here's the thing. Disney basically said, okay, you give us a certain amount of money and you get to use this license. But also for every unit sold, we get a cut of that money. So either way, Disney's going to get paid. So if they did make an exclusive license, they still would have gotten paid. It's just EA would have had to basically compete against someone who's like, okay, we're going to make a single-player Star Wars game, and if the single-player Star Wars game sells way more than anything coming from EA, people like Disney would say, well, hell, next time we have to renegotiate this, we know who to give this to.
Yeah, but here's the thing with like I said, as Terminator Juice, they have said it, and you said it, like I said, I'll say it again. That exclusivity messed up a lot of things. Again, we came from the 5th, the 6th, well, no, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Even the third one, but I'll go for what I'm more privy to. We had different types of.
We have variety.
Star Wars games.
Yeah,
we just
Star Wars games on
Star Wars games from different publishers.
Yeah,
we had platformers. We had platformers. We had shooters. We had fighting. We had pod racing. We had Rogue Squadron with the flight sims. I mean, we had different. Basically, go ahead, Ty.
No, I was just going to say, basically, no matter what platform you had, you could get your Star Wars fix. If you had a PC, you could get those awesome arcade. Well, they were almost sim-like, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter or TIE Fighter, stuff like that. Yeah. If you had N64, you had Rogue Squadron and Shadows of the Empire and stuff like that. If you had
Pod Racers, because it was also on 64 and GameCube. I remember that. I have the Pod Racers from GameCube.
I mean, like basically, you could get your Star Wars fix no matter what. And now exclusivity kind of hurts it because basically, I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, EA sucks as a publisher. I mean, oh yes, EA is making money, but name a game that EA has released that was critically, aside from Battlefield 1, name a EA game that's come out that EA has made that was actually like critically and commercially successful.
Mass Effect.
And if you talk about this year, then last 5 years, not really.
You can't because basically,
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that it ain't, but I can't come down right off my head for real. You're right.
They have built their entire thing. They release mediocre games with microtransactions to audiences that don't have enough wherewithal or have been conditioned to not say anything about it. That's how they're making money. It's not that they're making good games, okay? Because they aren't. Mass Effect Andromeda was garbage. Dragon Age Inquisition was mediocre.
And Unravel was easily forgotten.
Yeah, Unravel. I know that was kind of a lame one. But
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like it's basically like they can't. Like, so and here's the thing, they're like, well, we're going to reactivate the microtransactions. They're going to have to, if they reactivate microtransactions, they're going to have to do some major changes. It's not just going to be, well, here you go again. Like, and is EA going to want to put that type of money into that game? And is Disney going to let them continue to tank the IP?
No.
Likely no.
Because this is getting big. Like, here's the thing. The next Star Wars movie can come out and people will still be talking about this game and how bad parts of it are.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're right. And it's just, like I said, that's what they, sad for sure, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I think we've exhausted the EA train. EA, get your shit together. Or maybe not. I would rather see them crash and burn than get their shit together, really. At this point.
I mean, hey, the only way to, as you said, I've said, everybody said again, the only way to stop this shit is to stop this shit.
Yeah, because I don't like that. They've done nothing but tank some of my favorite franchises over and over and over again, and no one ever says anything. Well, I just,
Yeah, well,
it's
you're right.
sad.
Well, I mean, look, listen. If EA tanks and people start losing their jobs, I'll be sad. But On the other end, sometimes things have to be destroyed so that something better can come along. So,
Like,
I mean, you know, if those people are really talented.
Good side of EA.
What?
Like a new studio made by the remnants of the good side of EA.
What good side of EA? All the really good people are gone.
I can tell you right now, that's not there.
Yeah,
I can tell you that for my books.
Yeah, all the really good people are already gone. There is no good side of EA left. Because the most talented developers already left, except for Vince Zampella and that other guy. They left EA once, and then they went to Activision, and then they went back to EA. I'm like, yeah, you's a dumb son of a bitch.
Yep. That is stupid.
That's dumb. I'm sorry. That's like getting out of an abusive relationship, someone kicking your ass, and then you leave. Go someplace that's, you know, at least the person's not beating your ass, you know, and psychologically torturing you. That you might not get everything you want, but it's better than someone whooping your ass and messing with you and psychologically torturing you. But you're like, nah, I'm gonna go back to that person who was beating my ass.
Yeah.
You know, and for people who keep on saying, well, EA is not that bad, EA tanked their game so that they could devalue the studio so that they could make it cheaper for them to buy it later on. That's all that was. And if
Well, again, and that's why we're, as us, that's why I'm like, why the hell? I mean, come on, already. Like you just the same people you just said. This, and they say about, yeah, well, let us go. Like, you got to be kidding me. 13 studios, 12 studios before that said you saw that. So it's the writing on the wall. It's like you at the campgrounds and you see Jason Voorhees here and you're like, I'm still go here and go camping. What?
I mean, you see some dude. I mean, you're like a lady who literally went on a date, saw another dude, and this dude was beating his girlfriend, and then you're like, you know what? I should go with him. No, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Beating his girlfriend. Why are you going with them? And they're like, well, they're not going to close our studio. I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. I mean, that's not. You're not right. You're not right. I mean, these people have made some games that people love, like Call of Duty. I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, but I know there's a lot of people that love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you literally are giving these people a chance to screw you over, and you're like, I can't believe. Like, I guarantee when the next
after you corrected one of your latest IPs, which is Titanfall 2, after you corrected it,
Well, I mean, they made it better, but EA basically released that game between two juggernauts that ground that game into paste. It's a better game.
I know that, but still, it was a better game because I didn't buy Titanfall 1. Yeah. I bought Titanfall 2 for PC, and I enjoyed it. I ain't finished the game. I need to, but I enjoyed it.
It is a better game. You're absolutely right. It is a much better game than
so my point is just like Dead Space 3 or whatever or something. You were on your way to becoming Titanfall 3. Literally, even though I have not finished Titanfall 2, I'm not going to deny that I didn't finish Titanfall 2. I was thinking, okay, I'm loving the single player. It's pretty good. I'm like, oh, wait, you know what? I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Titanfall 3. And then right now, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I don't like.
What were you gonna say, Jewel?
I dropped like a brick.
Yeah. Your enthusiasm for EA Studios kind of goes downhill because there's no, like, basically they destroy so many studios. You know that their next game from EA is not going to be good because EA makes it their mission to destroy things. That's what they do. It's like, you love this game, we're gonna tank it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Get out of our face. I mean,
exactly. You know, I can't argue with what they're saying.
But look what they did to BioWare.
Yep.
Yeah.
They killed it. They killed it. Yeah, they killed BioWare. BioWare used to be an awesome Western RPG studio, and now it's a joke. It's not even really. I wouldn't even spend money.
You could argue that they've been starting to become a joke ever since they developed Sonic Chronicles.
Nah, I won't say that.
No. I would say BioWare started going downhill after Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 and like after Mass Effect 2 and they did Dragon Age. Dragon Age 2 was the start of BioWare going down the shitter.
Exodus.
Yeah, and then they did Mass Effect 3, and come on, we don't even need to talk about that game. And then that was basically the start. And when the two people who founded that studio left, like that should have been the writing on the wall for that studio, because
Signed to abandon ship.
yeah, if the founders leave, there's a problem. Like if Nintendo ever just cleans house and gets rid of, Eiji Aonuma and Shigeru Miyamoto, like the people who had been there for 20, 30, 40 years, and 40 years, people retire, but 20, 30 years, the people who have been like the guiding creative force behind a lot of their IPs, studios don't come back from that, typically.
No, and that's why Nintendo does the thing which I like. A lot of people's like, oh, Miyamoto's this. Like, no, yes, Miyamoto makes sure that the software is still good or whatever, but they train people to take the helm. That's what they do. That's what Capcom should have did. They didn't. That's what Square should have did, and they didn't do that either. Nope. So yeah. Kazumi is the man. A lot of people, because I've seen a lot of publications saying like Kazumi was the man of 2018 when it comes to the game, and like he had a lot of influence. He had Genny Takeda, and he had Shigeru Miyamoto. That was his people that he shadowed. Yep. I can't argue. That's good people to shadow. If you go shadow from if you go shadow from the craftsmen, the masters, that's the way you're supposed to do. Yep. Learn from the best. But I guess we should move on to the second topic, which is going to be easy because. We aren't gonna get too deep into it. The second topic is take a franchise that someone considers to be kind of like sluggish, tankish, wallowing in their own corner, and bring it back. A lot of people have said that Star Fox Zero was a misstep. I disagree. I enjoyed the game. It's not my favorite Star Fox game, but it's solid. It's a solid game.
And people are still.
You talk about. I'll say this before. I didn't mean to cut you off, Piggy Down. Any place though, right? Any game, any franchise, right? Just a franchise that people are like, man, they've been effing up. They need to do this. It's like, well, I can understand where you're coming from. It has to be a legit thing, not just people who just hate it just to hate on it. No. I'm not. Yeah. Like I got that. Sonic the Hedgehog, because he's like. Sonic's been messing up lately. Why are you doing that, man, Red? Look, Pinky, it's Pinky's. Yeah. Who wants to go first, by the way? Who wants to go first?
Perhaps I could go first.
All right.
Besides Sonic, there's one other franchise that I think that could be revitalized. Street Fighter giving it a one hard reboot. By changing the lore, or something. That is your idea. So can you flush it out a little more than that, because they don't need no more reboots. That story's already so convoluted. It ain't even a joke. Yeah. That's one of the problems with Street Fighter is that they keep on doing things they keep on rebooting it in ways that don't really make sense. No, because they keep trying. They're being restricted by the timeline that certain characters cannot. As a reason why
I don't think that's it. I don't think that was it. I'm looking at again. I think it was Red Fox and Sprite Remix when you guys told me how that timeline went. I was like, and it was game idea because it was basically a random talk. I was like, that's how the timeline goes. Holy crap, that was convoluted. That's crazy.
Yeah, because basically at this point, Ryu's in his 40s, like his mid 40s. Doesn't really look it though.
Well, it's not the age. It's like how this person is here, but then this person's not here, and this person's there, and the other person's there. And let's as Red was said, let's keep it real. How you if that's the case, then why would you put some of the characters in DLC because it became fan favorites if they're not a part of the story? It's convoluted in all ways. Because again, you have Street Fighter 5, no Sagat. Really? Yeah. They got rid of my favorite. They messed up my favorite
villain, so I can't even.
And
I'm
according
done.
to Street Fighter lore, he cannot come back after Street Fighter V because he canonically dies before the events of Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, good luck with that.
And there you go. And that's exactly why I said it, what it is. I'm not saying that they can't make a good Street Fighter game, you Pinky. You're right. I'm just saying, trying to fix the story, just stop that. Just give us fighters, fight, and go. That's it.
It's look, and Bison is once again trying to find a new someone to take over their body so they can prolong his life. That's it. That's all it is. He starts a tournament. It's a Street Fighter tournament to find someone who's strong enough to handle his soul and he can take over their body. That's it. That's all we need. Stop doing all this weird, like, and stop
that's
messing
what
up the
I'm saying.
move sets, okay? Don't take away move sets from one character. I hate that.
No, I'm with you. I am right on that one. Just stop. You're doing too much. You're doing too much, man. Let it be. Let it die.
To enjoy this character, and it's like, oh, we got rid of their moveset, and they're like, well, the reason we got rid of the moveset is because of some convoluted ass reason, just because.
Yeah, and it's convoluted as hell. So I agree with it in that regard. It's just let's just stop that, please. Let it die. But again, I'm not saying that your idea is not bad, because I'm just saying, like we just said, forget the story, bring the characters together, fight. That's it.
You know what they could do?
Like Red said, everybody's just trying to do something, or it's just a tournament. Like Marvel vs. Capcom, ain't no really story in that shit. And Marvel vs. Capcom, SNK versus Capcom. There was no story. It was a tournament. We come together, we fought. Good.
You know what they could work, Pinky?
What?
You know what could work?
Originally,
Street Fighter 2 was what eventually became Final Fight. But it was so different from Street Fighter 2 that they just turned it into a, scrolling brawler. What if they made a Final Fight game where, like, instead of you just going around, 2 rounds, fighting people, where, like, half of the game is you fighting people in traditional Street Fighter form, but then the other half is like a side-scrolling beat 'em up a la Final Fight.
So you're suggesting like Street Fighter 2010? Is that what you're saying, right?
Well, Street Fighter 2010 was actually it was a completely different game. They just wanted to use a title that people were familiar with. I'm actually thinking like a game that's kind of like a hybridization where, like, you have the mode where you're going around, it's a beat 'em up, you're beating up people, and then when you get to, yes, there would be a Street Fighter game in it where you can play arcade mode and your typical Street Fighter thing with the Hadoukens and all that stuff. But then you have a mode where you just pick 1 of 8 characters and go around beating the shit out of just random people until you get to a certain part of the level where the view changes and it turns into traditional 2D Street Fighter. Except you're fighting, like, let's say you're in China, you beat up some people, and then you eventually get to that street with the ramen stand, and there's Chun-Li. You gotta fight Chun-Li. I think that would be awesome.
Some of this stuff just writes itself.
Yeah, you're in Singapore, and you fight your way through some dude's ancient temple. You get to the top of the temple, and oh shit, it's Mr. Badass with his cape. Takes that shit off. It's M. Bison. I think that could work. That would be fun to me because it would scratch both of those itches. Bring back brawlers, add some depth and complexity.
And of course, reboot the entire stories starting from scratch.
I don't really care about the reboot, but they could add that in, and it would finally actually be Street Fighter because these people would actually be fighting on streets. Some of them. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, but that's not a bad idea.
There would actually be street fighting in Street Fighter.
So you can argue that Cody from Final Fight is the true Street Fighter because he fights dirty.
Yeah, with a knife and throwing dirt in people's faces and throwing rocks at them. Look, listen. We already know that canonically, Mike Hager is not only a wrestler from Friday Night Slam Masters, but also used to be a Street Fighter. So hell, I mean, just bring it all full circle. And hell, if they make a sequel, they could add Captain Commando in there, and it would make sense. He's like, well, you know, look, he's from the future. Look, someone stole a time machine. He's from the future to get it back, and that's why he's fighting. That's it. That's all you need to know. It's Captain Commando. He's got a robo arm. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay. Robo arms are cool, as anyone
Some
can
of
tell
this
you.
stuff just writes. So hopefully somebody will get the hint.
Yeah, but this is Capcom, so
Right.
they're busy doing remakes of remakes. So we'll get another what was it? Okami HD edition.
Okay, so
No.
who's next for our revitalized series?
Yeah, I guess Jewel, it's your turn since you haven't gone.
I'm thinking carefully about this because I'm even thinking Crash to see if he could work in an 8-bit style to try to see if he could get it. Or
So like Shovel Knight?
yeah. Or
Okay.
to see how he would come out in the 3D format.
Well, they tried that with Crash, Mind Over Mutant, and Crash of the Titans.
And those weren't relevant.
I was saying
I love those games though, so I'm one of the minority that actually like those games. Yeah, I'd be down with that.
yeah, I said only Vector Man to see if he could work in a 3D environment, but
Yeah.
to see if he works better as a refined 2D platformer.
I don't know. That sounds cool. I'd be down with that, but I don't know. I mean, it could work.
No.
Yeah, it could work.
It's a idea, right?
I'd be cool with that.
Well,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like I said, you man's asking for ideas. There's nothing really. We just thinking it out and
Yeah.
talking about
How would you do that? Like, who would you get to do it? Like, if it's Vector Man, like 8-bit, I'd just get Yacht Club to do it, since they have already proven that they can make the best NES games that were never made for the NES. With Shovel Knight.
Good
So
point.
I mean, you know, I trust them with Vector Man, and the new transformations they could do in 8-bit would be awesome.
I'm still waiting for a true Shovel Knight 2.
You know, if they do a Shovel Knight 2, I think it would have to be in 16-bit just to just to mess with people. And that would be a glorious looking game. That game would look better than those Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion, Mickey Mouse,
And the question is, will it use the Genesis sound chip or the SNES sound chip?
who knows?
Well, that is good. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'll be honest. I'm partial to. I've found something doing some music stuff, and I'm like, I've listened to what the Super NES could do, what the Genesis do, and Genesis do some stuff that are pretty cool. Like the poppier techno crunching songs are better on the Genesis, and the symphony full orchestrated are better on the Super Nintendo. So it depends.
Yeah, it depends
And I
on
like
it depends on the music.
Yeah.
And what team is working with the sound chip? Like, because there are games for the Genesis that sound really good. Like Streets of Rage from Yuzo Koshiro sounds great. Rocket Knight, yeah, Shinobi, yeah, those games sound really good. But then there's some games for the Sega Genesis is like, my God.
Yeah, Aladdin don't sound that good on the Lion King. Don't sound good on that when they're singing the song, but on the Super Nintendo it sounds way fuller.
Yeah, so I mean, it just depends on who was working with it. Yeah, it depends on who they were working with.
Even like Fantasy Star was kind of, like I said, the crunchy, but then you go to like Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger, the music sound better. Cause like I say, it's full. Yeah, because I got the programs that you could put in music and you could see what works out better. Like I said, that's why I said like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy, those RPGs, the full orchestra kind of setup, those sound way good on the Super Nintendo than on the Genesis.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, but for Vector, yeah, I'd like to see Vector Man. Vector Man would be cool. that would just be a cool franchise to just see done well. You know,
Yep.
but it's so hard to find. Like, I mean, there are not a lot of people who can do 2D well these days. Aside from
Well, I wouldn't say there's not many people who do 2D. It's just that some people think that they got to go all out to do something good, and I think that's why indies right now are doing. Because again, Kimiko is 2D top down, like All Star, Do Valley, and all those games. They look good. They do good. They do whatever. But the main people who just think, oh, we got to go all out to make this great game. Like, you know.
Yeah.
No.
We got to spend billion. We got to spend at least 10 million on the graphical engine. It's like, no, don't do that.
Again, like a little Cuphead. Cuphead, it looks again hand drawn, beautiful, and don't need. Yeah, so yeah, we need the people to have the passion. That's all. And some of these publishers are scaring a lot of these guys out of doing it. And some people have got it in their head because who was it? Anderson did show me something, and not to my sister because my sister went to the art design, School of Arts, but someone it was in California where people was basically saying that looking at Cuphead, why they didn't do that? Why they didn't use CGI and stuff? I'm like, sometimes some of the teachers also is teaching these guys that you gotta be CGI all the time. No, have a passion, then you could do what you want to do with it.
Yep. I think that it just depends on, what are you willing to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are you willing to, pull this out? Like, I really do think that, legitimately speaking, you could totally do a 3D, like Joel said. They could do a 3D Vector Man. You'd have to change some of the mechanics.
As Jules said, you also want to see Kirby.
Yeah. I like to see a 3D Kirby. You'd have to up the speed a little bit.
HAL Laboratory Express wanted to do a 3D Kirby a few years ago. HAL Laboratory, the developers of the Kirby games.
Yeah, I mean, I trust them. HAL hasn't really. HAL consistently makes solid B plus A- games. Like, they don't make bad games, so I'm not gonna be like,
Yeah, not to mention that Kirby has like the nicest fan base out of all the Nintendo fan bases.
Well, it's simple. That's
because no one is like hardcore like. Well, no, that's not true. There is one hardcore Kirby fan I know.
I will put it. I'm a hardcore Kirby fan because I mean, literally since Kirby 1, I've played almost every Kirby. Except for I've played it, but I never owned it. The Kirby Twist and Turns and the Golf one, but the platformers, yeah. And again, my favorite Kirby game still is Mass Attack because for me it took Kirby out of being that is a copy paste. And still, don't get me wrong, I still love Ultra Star. But it took Kirby out of being a copy, and then you got to use your Kirby's moves and also his expression, just like with Triple Deluxe and stuff, was in that game. So, again, I think they could do it. I think and like I said, right now, how did tease that they're doing something with Box Boy. It's going to continue. So, all right, I said, hell, if y'all can put it as a collection on the Switch, you're going to get a double dip out of me because I would buy that game.
That would be great. They do a collection for like $30, all 3 games with some extra bennies, maybe some extra levels and challenges. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I would just like to see, I was going to say, see if they do it.
I still have a copy of the 20th anniversary game collection.
Yeah, and like I said, you're doing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And who knows if they're gonna make a 25th anniversary collection?
They might.
They might.
Probably will.
They might.
I mean, it's Kirby. He's one of the founding Nintendo characters, so it would make sense to have him, be in it.
Yeah.
So
I will be there.
I'm wondering if they're gonna do another Mario All Stars collection using the engine for New Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. I mean, they can do that, but if they're gonna do Super Mario World, then I'm gonna need the cape feather. I'm sorry. Cape Feather returns. I'd be down with that. I'd probably get that.
It's godlike. I need that. I hear you. So Jewel and thing. Let me see. I mean, because I'm an old person, I could cover many games that could come up. That's what it is. Like since me and you are almost the same age, Red. Like I would love a mystical Goem Ninja again.
Yep.
What I played was on the 64, and I loved that game.
Yep.
Cause it was so different. It was different because again, you have Goemon and his people, and then you still have the robot fight, which is basically that was like my at the time when I was a kid. That was my Megazord. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool fighting in this thing. And
Yeah, I thought I was.
I was just saying, I think they need another one, another mystical ninja, another Goemon RPG. I liked it.
Yeah, I would love another one of those. I think that. I mean, I'd be down with it, because I mean, like the game's kind of, when you first start it, it looks like it's gonna be a Mario 64 clone, which there were a lot of them in that gen, because you know Mario 64 was huge.
Yeah.
But then you get into it, it's like, no, this is more like an action adventure game.
And it was that, and it had the three different characters: the girl, the big guy, and the what do you call it, the little ninja robot.
Yep.
But it was, and then you had a use specific, but it was still like they had a little, of course, Goemon style of comedy. I mean, I know, as I said, that'll be one, but that's a season to Konami still, right? Konami still owns that.
They haven't done anything with it, although I think they put it in
I know.
a machine. But aside from that, they haven't done anything with it.
So, but if I have to say something that I would like to come back, like I think would do really good, and it would work. Again, I'm the person to say put it on all platforms. I really think, and have they made? Yeah, they did make a collection. I mean, with the technology you have now, I mean, Smash Bros. Is good. But again, it's Capcom. That's the damn problem. Son of a bitch. I would love another Power Stone.
Talk about Catch-22.
Yeah.
I don't. I would love another Power Stone. I would. Yeah, they have a Power Stone collection, but I would like another maybe a Power Stone collection, but have a Power Stone 3 with a new Power Stone with all the characters together and everything. I mean, that game with the technology we have now and how fun and broad it could be. Yeah, I would like that.
Gordon, what about revitalizing of Darkstalkers? Because a lot of people want Darkstalkers. Because that franchise,
and don't give me
that franchise has been dormant far longer than Power Stone.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Not necessarily, because they did another Darkstalkers game for the Vita, and it also eventually became downloadable to the PS4, and that was what, 2 or 3 years ago.
It's not like I ain't got nothing against Darkstalkers. Like I said, I mean, I hope that if they could do it. But the reason I'm saying that we don't have many brawl games. That's what I say. Fighting games, we got plenty. Injustice, Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I wanted a brawl. Like my Smash by itself is good. Don't get me wrong. We know Ultra Star. I mean, not Ultra Star. All Stars for PlayStation didn't work out that well. So the only closest thing.
The problem is that almost all the Smash clones have been largely inferior.
Yeah,
well, I mean, there was that TMNT game that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was alright, but it didn't reach the mass appeal a lot of people thought it would have been.
Well, the thing about it is that when you do a Smash game, it has to be you have to have characters that people are actually nostalgic about. And the thing is like, most people are not nostalgic about those PlayStation characters, because I mean, like half of those characters weren't even PlayStation characters.
That's true.
What?
I was gonna say half of PlayStation, or half they haven't been around for even 5 years, as far as I know.
Well, the thing is that there are characters that they could have used, but for some reason Sony didn't. It was like, I mean,
well, they tried to ask.
They tried to pawn memory lane.
They asked Activision permission to get Crash Bandicoot or Spyro, and Activision declined. Then they asked Square Enix to get a Final Fantasy character or Sora, and they also rejected the offer. request.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's probably for the better.
I mean, they could have
Yeah,
gotten. They could have gotten. Okay, they could have gotten Sir Dan Fortescue from Medieval.
They already did.
He's a Sony character.
They already did. He's already
Yeah, they added him in the game, and they could have gotten. Let's see who else. That cat from The Adventures of Cookies and Cream, Spike from Ape Escape.
But you know what's funny though. But you know what's funny? It's like what Pinky Don said. They asked for Final Fantasy character, they couldn't get it, but then for some reason Sakurai got called into Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
and of course Ryu was here too.
I thought that was bullshit.
I got you what you're saying, but it still got him in the game.
Yeah, they got him in the game.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, man, but I'm just saying that for something like you said, for something that made on a platform that made Cloud popular, they couldn't get it into their fighting game, but on another platform they got it there.
I think the reason that they couldn't get it is because even Square Enix knew that game was just some bullshit. Personally, that's what I think. They were like, nah, not gonna happen.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Because you could tell that game was so almost thrown together, you know.
As in, so it was so patched up a mile away.
They spent so much. Like, okay, you could clearly tell that game when they first came out was supposed to be their Smash Brothers. And then when the developer said that, Sony's like, no, we can't be like Smash Brothers. So they added all this convoluted ass stuff to make it not be like Smash Brothers and made the game way worse.
Well, yeah, because you have to use a power. You have to use a special move. That's the only way to KO the person. Like, no.
Yeah,
and I've seen Smash fans praising PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for having the option to remove stage hazards.
I mean, that's cool and all, but
that's cool and all, yeah.
I mean, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying about PlayStation All-Stars, and here's what kind of, in my opinion, kind of doomed that game, was that it was like. It's kind of like why Eternal Champions. No one's like, oh man, Eternal Champions, because like here's the thing, Smash Brothers is really like kind of like the benchmark for those type of 2D brawling fighting games, right? Like, I mean, at this point, it's not stealing. It's just they set the benchmark, so it's really good. Just copy and paste and add your own little twist to it. Trying to be unique is just going to make it worse. It's kind of like Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 set the standard for 2D versus Player 1 versus Player 2 games. So trying to change that control scheme is only going to work to your detriment because that's the standard.
And there's one Smash film that's trying to copy Smash Bros. Beat by beat. It was Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL.
Yeah, and that was a fun game. I mean, it was a Smash clone, but it was fun. So was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But its roster is also was even more broken than Brawl's roster. I mean, the Powerpuff Girls Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls was way OP.
Yeah. I mean, I only played a little bit of the game because I wasn't like
perfect. But again, going off of what I was saying back to the original thing, like again. Power Storm, that was that's a different style of brawler. It was unique, and I think that's what not wrong.
It was an arena style brawler where you could pick up like weapons and stuff, and then you could like these gems would drop, and if you picked up like 4 of them or 5 of them,
that's ball. You got to you pick up 3. You turn into you transform, and that was your Smash Ball, basically, in a way. But you didn't use a powerful move. You got to run from it, or you could avoid it at least. Just like a Smash Ball, whatever. You could final smash, you could run away. But it was like you had just kinetic brawler that you like the characters. They paid. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like they're also like Smash Brothers. The characters were new. They had no nobody like these characters, but they paid attention to the character's fight style. London was basically You know, he had he wanted to fly and everything. He used the missiles. He got his little everything for that. Wang was basically like a Dragon, basically Goku clone with the spirit bomb and the dragon and the rising dragon power move. Like I said, he used kung fu in his style. And the girl who was a genie, you know, she used the skull. Like they put that like just like with Street Fighter, they put character a really personal characterization into these characters and make them feel like, wow, these are unique characters. I'd like to go and play with these characters.
Yeah,
that's what I like about the game.
Yeah, and I think that's what's missing from a lot of games. I would give mine, but we're getting to the end of the cast, so give your sign outs, pimp out what you want to pimp out, and we will wrap things up.
This is Piggy Dog from Video Game Facts, where we talk about facts and opinions on the gamebosphere. Right now, I am currently working on any upcoming articles I want to discuss about, such as a list of controversial video games in terms of critics and fans, including the ones that don't deserve the controversy it had upon its release or announcement.
I'll give you a simple one. In the last video I did, how the hell we want to boycott games that work, but we don't want to boycott games that's broken? That makes no sense to me. How the frig?
Yeah, but that's gamers today. They get angry about the wrong things.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, pick it out. So I was just adding an example to what you're saying.
And as well as another possible article, like I'm still developing a top 10 hottest blonde characters.
Okay. Hey.
All right. That's a very eclectic.
You'll be surprised.
No.
You'll be surprised who is number one once I finish it.
Hey, do you, bro? Do you?
If you get Samus, I'm not going to be surprised.
2 coins. I got some coins on Samus and Peach being up there.
Oh, you'll find out soon enough.
If you say Zelda, I'm going to be like, originally she was red-haired, so.
Come on, Red. Yeah, I was saying, just like Link also had pink hair and Link the past.
And I'll probably work on a dream crossover game idea the day before I leave to Disneyland with my family. It's basically like Disney versus Capcom.
Gotcha.
You keep on bringing me back, because I remember when Capcom made some of the best Disney games. Oh, man. Darkwing Duck.
Yep. Darkwing Duck.
And DuckTales game.
DuckTales. Oh, man.
Mickey Mouse, House of the Illusions. Like that.
Yeah, all those Mickey Mouse games.
Rangers and Tailspin.
Yeah, Tailspin,
So many
Rescue Rangers. Just making me sad while I listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about it too.
So yeah, I'm pretty much done with my closing introduction.
All right, I guess it's.
I'll go. I mean, for me, hopefully I'll get a chance to do the usual, what do you call it? End of the year podcast and stuff like that.
Sure.
That's what I got right now. I have. Technically speaking, the only reason you got me today already because I'm trying to exchange stuff on my PC and close the son of a bitch off one more time because I got nothing else to do to this thing. So basically, whatever I gotta come out, hope you guys watch it. Other than that, on the channel you have, like I said, the Zelda. Me, Sprite, and Katie went to the Zelda live. You can hear a review about that. That's about it I can think of right now. So just look out for NEA podcast of 2017, what we think of 2017, from the good, the bad, and really the shitty.
Fair enough. I guess it's my turn. I'll be doing Sci-Fi Power Hour next week, where we will be going in depth to some of the rumors that have been going on about DC and Warner Brothers, and we'll give our take on it. And of course, next week's BS Busters, which it's going to be my end of year one because I probably won't be doing one after that because I'll start my Christmas vacation the week after that. So if I do a podcast, it'll be me joining, not probably won't be me doing one from the ground up myself. And next week's BS Busters, since we talked about people doing bad things this week, we're going to talk about good things next week, positive things, things that make us happy. So look forward to that. And that's it. I might have some videos go up, probably. And that's it. So peace, enjoy, good night.
And stay away from OJ.